On our Fox 9 Game of the Week, St. Michael-Albertville will start Kale Junkie, Haley Walbin, Kaylee Bogolke, Ella Erickson, and Abby Hazelton, the South Dakota State commit. Minnetonka will start Delaney Agert, Harley Woke, Lariah Wright, the 7th grader Ari Peterson, who's getting a lot of publicity now, and Lysandra Williams. Ari already on the short list. Of players to watch.
I don't know what else to change. Doesn't that look right? And he said there's not much they can change on their end. I said I can try to like unselect the source and reselect it. And I said call me back in 5 minutes if you still can't hear him talking.
We're just ready to get this one underway.
Doesn't that look right?
I'm getting level.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I said he's talking right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't hear it. Sorry. I'll tap you on the shoulder. I mean, continue as if it's...
All right. Sorting out a couple of snafus as we get underway here. Minnetonka not wasting any time after winning the tip. Agert scores to get us started. St. Michael-Albertville, Jonke and Hazelton, the 2 players to watch. Both teams, as we get a block from Williams on a cutting Bogolke. Both teams looking a lot different than the teams that won state. Harley Woke scores on the post up, and Minnetonka off to a hot start. Cross court, now a 3 off the front iron. Williams picks it up. Jump ball. STMA with the possession arrow. Just underway in this late conference battle. St. Michael-Albertville should get out of Section 8. Minnetonka in Section 2, Eden Prairie and Prior Lake, both formidable foes there. Williams collecting the rebound. The key for Minnetonka, goes without saying, can they get healthy enough? As Minnetonka brings it up, Williams along the corner, works her way, hands it off to Woke. She'll back off, try to thread it to Williams. Instead, it's overthrown. Hazelton with the steal. She finds Erickson for 3. That rattles out. Knights still looking for their first bucket. Hazelton faked. Junkie can't get it. Knights got the rebound, but Bogolke runs out of real estate. Minnetonka takes over. They have lost their last 3 games. STMA also losing their last 3. In what has been, I don't want to say changing of the guard, but in some respects it feels that way as we get a scramble, and that will be a foul. It's on St. Michael-Albertville after Minnetonka got the steal. But the Skippers lost to Hopkins, Wayzata, and Maple Grove. 16:06 left in the first half. Glad to be with you on Fox9.com, the Fox 9 YouTube channel, and Fox Local. All that's missing is the Jason Show. Peterson finds a cutting Woke for 2, and Minnetonka off to a 6-0 lead. Hazelton along the wing, cross court, touch 3. Off the heel, and the slow start for the Knights continues. Jonke with the Kobe Bryant step back move. That didn't work out either. Knights can't find the bucket right now, and out of bounds they go. 15:30 left in the first half. Live coverage of our Fox 9 Game of the Week presented by Summit Orthopedics and True Stone Financial. As I was saying, Minnetonka and St. Michael-Albertville both losing 3 in a row, but you can understand Minnetonka's side of it when you look at their injury situation. Wright flared up her injury against Minnehaha Academy as Peterson fires, comes up short. A game that Minnehaha Academy won in overtime, and the Redhawks also running into the illness bug. Addie Mack missing the last couple of games, which led to a couple of runaway losses on the part of the Redhawks. So whoever wins the state championship might be the team that stays healthiest. I know that sounds cliche, but you look at all the teams in 4A that have dealt with injuries. As Ari Peterson muscles her way down court for 2. Peterson's on the board. St. Michael-Albertville trying to thread it baseline. Woke with the interception. Peterson maneuvers around traffic and will shoot 2. Ari again getting an increasing level of attention. Already receiving a few offers. Played her first 2 years of varsity ball at Providence Academy and won a couple of state championships there and became the glue player of sorts last year for the Lions. Trying to do the same here for the Skippers. She averages 12.7 a game. And not surprisingly, some of the attention focusing on her athletic lineage. If you're new to the Fox 9 Game of the Week or haven't followed Minnetonka this season, Ari is the daughter of Adrian Peterson, the longtime NFL running back who spent most of his career with the Vikings, including that 2,000-yard rushing season all those years ago. Peterson with the steal on Hazelton. Skippers off to a 10-0 start. They did lead by 12 in the first half of their meeting with St. Michael-Albertville, and they lead by 12 here as Agert gets the fast break bucket. So Minnetonka off to another quick start. 13:58 left in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds.
There are lots of reasons to want a big backyard. At True Stone Home Mortgage, we all agree dog birthday party is at the top. Great home loans, expert help, and a focus on what matters to you. It's true, because we're True Stone. A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At True Stone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a True Stone checking account. It's true, because we're True Stone.
Our Fox 9 Game of the Week coverage continues next Tuesday. Matabidi at Hastings boys hockey as we get ready for winter state tournaments. Girls hockey will start their section playoff rounds this weekend. St. Michael-Albertville trying to jumpstart their offense. They trail 12-0 in the first meeting with Minnetonka. They trail by 12 at halftime before bouncing back to victory. Right now in all sorts of trouble. Junkie can't field the pass. Minnetonka with another takeaway. This is Lariah Wright. Jump ball. Skippers hold the arrow. Minnetonka won the Class 4A state championship last year, but as we've discovered this year, defending can be harder than it looks when you have a new contingent. Last year's team had Tori McKinney and Aaliyah Crump. Tori now playing for the Gophers and doing quite well. Aaliyah Crump transferring to Montverde Academy. She'll be a McDonald's All-American. As Lariah Wright misses on the take. Knights looking to push, and they do. They're finally on the board. That's J.C. Bryan, who scored for St. Michael-Albertville. STMA, of course, with plenty of history in the sport that you can see at the next level as they get back-to-back buckets. Junkie with the handoff to Hazelton in transition. 12-4 And that timeout working out so far for St. Michael-Albertville. Right to Peterson. Ends it off. Williams, 3-ball, corner pocket. There was some question on whether or not Lysedra Williams would suit up tonight, but as you saw on that play, she is definitely suiting up. And Minnetonka could use all the help they could get with Linnell Wright and Jasmine Dang both out. 3 on the way. It's there. But Golke with her first field goal, and after St. Michael-Albertville couldn't buy a bucket, their shots are starting to drop as we are now under 12 minutes left in the first half. Peterson fakes, pulls up. Can't get the bounce. Good move, just didn't go in. This is Bryan, who finds Hazelton. Her pull-up J short. Tracks her own miss. Bryan. Swish. Second chance buckets. You never know when they'll come in handy. And what was a 12-point deficit is down to 3. But given the talent and the grittiness, the resilience of late conference teams, especially at top, you wouldn't expect anybody to get discouraged. Minnetonka certainly isn't, as they get a second chance bucket of their own. Woke from Peterson. Walben. Straightaway 3 off the heel. Junkie pulls up from 13, gets the Plinko bounce. And Junkie's on the board. Now we're seeing offensive action pick up in a hurry. The poke and the takeaway for St. Michael-Albertville. No flip for the Knights. Bugolke tried to make some magic happen, couldn't quite do so. That will be a foul on Walben for the bump on Eggert. With 10:16 left in the first half. Ken Hamry, the head coach of St. Michael-Albertville. Brian Cosgriff, the head coach at Minnetonka in his third year, leading the Skippers after all those years guiding Hopkins to state tournament success. Several of his players from that era now high school head coaches, including Nia Holly, who's playing tonight. Her Two Rivers squad going up against Providence Academy, a team that beat St. Michael-Albertville on Saturday at the community clash. Here's the southpaw, knocking it down, Lariah Wright. (20-12). St. Michael-Albertville with the answer. Offline, Lariah Wright with the rebound. We saw their brother, Willie Wright, last week on our Game of the Week, and Lariah Wright can't make it back-to-back trays, but Ellie Penner collects the miss. Didn't notice Kaylin Foster in pursuit. Kaylin swipes it away. Hazelton underneath and in. The future Jackrabbit has 4 points, 20-14 with 9:12 left in the first half. That's Clara Carlson. Pass offline. Walben drew the foul, and it was before the shot. Or was there a foul? Yes. It was on Lariah Wright. They waited till after the substitutions were made. Ari Peterson snatching the inbound pass, wants to take it all the way and can't quite do so. Foul on the rebound, and that's what we call the double whammy. No big bucks. You miss the bucket, then foul. about 75 feet away from your basket. It's on Micah Chose. Erickson. Around the arc. And off. And now Jonke strolls in from the key and banks it in. Jonke with 4, 20-16. Chose. Skips it to Carlson, back to Chose. Panner. Chose again. A lot of the second stringers on the floor for Minnetonka right now, including Chose, who draws the bump on Walbon. And that will be number 2 on Haley. With 7:58 left in the first half. Lariah Wright will check back in. Lariah, a 7th grader. And getting the start tonight with 2 key players not available. Peterson tried to feed it to Chose and instead threw it away. Jonke, the laser skip inside, too strong for Bugolke. Peterson got pinched off for a moment. 3 ball. Ager can't knock it down. Pursues her own miss. Now Chose lines up a 3. Also short. The shots aren't falling for Minnetonka right now. And they're going down in a big way for St. Michael-Albertville. J.C. Bryan has a chance for 3. 7 off the bench. Again, both teams shorthanded. St. Michael-Albertville down a couple key bench players. Bryan averaging 5.4 a game. And Minnetonka down 2 starters. Aches, pains, and a few more hurdles than expected. No 3-point play for St. Michael-Albertville. But it is a 2-point game. What was a 12-point deficit is now reduced to a single possession. Minnetonka trying to get out of this offensive funk. Williams, extra pass, a blocking foul. It looked like Foster had the block initially, but made contact with Agert on the way down. And that's going to cost St. Michael-Albertville a stop. Agert to the line. Agert averaging 4.8 a game. Minnetonka missing about 26 points of their offense between Dang and Linnell Wright. Foster to Erickson. Peterson. She's been playing cornerback out there as she takes it all the way this time. I can't say I've asked Ari if she picked up any moves from her father, her mother, or anyone in her family, but Ari turning into a defensive pest for Minnetonka. Pass overthrown. Panner with the steal. Had that deflected. Now the ball's up for grabs, and it will go to Minnetonka as Foster stepped out of bounds. 6:08 left in the first half, 23-18. The Lake Conference will get a new member in Maple Grove next year. Maple Grove currently the #1 team in Class 4A, but this year, just about anyone could win it. We don't have a runaway favorite like we used to in years past. Usually, it came down to a question of could you get through Hopkins? This year, whoever gets on a hot streak could find themselves hoisting the trophy, and that is the bane of every ball handler. You start your motion before the dribble. Traveling call, St. Michael-Albertville will take over. As I was saying before this flurry of activity, STMA, they've got more than a few chapters in girls basketball history. Only school to win a state championship in 3 different classes, 2A, 3A, 4A. As Junkie lines up a 3, bullseye. And as a result of South Carolina winning the national championship last year, St. Michael-Albertville adding another claim to fame. Peterson to Williams, spin cycle, extra rinse. Williams coming over from Hopkins last year. More hot potato, the elbow J for Junkie goes down. Junkie up to 9. Williams to Eggert. Tried to bounce it underneath. Woke gets out of a jam. Williams collects the feed. Goes again for the turnaround, is fouled. Cedra Williams again coming over from the Hopkins program. That's something we are used to seeing. Lake Conference athletes transferring to conference rivals. Usually the story, as Williams goes to, or I should say Williams gets the back end, knocks it down. Usually the story is teams from other conferences, other districts coming in. St. Michael-Albertville gets another pair from Junkie on the floater. Wright backing off. Needs help. Minnetonka using a timeout before the 5-second call. Remember, it still applies on hell balls. 4:17 left in the first. 27-25. We're back in 30 seconds.
There are lots of reasons to want a big backyard. At Truestone Home Mortgage, we all agree dog birthday party is at the top. Great home loans, expert help, and a focus on what matters to you. It's true, because we're Truestone. A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a Truestone checking account. It's true, because we're Truestone.
Once again, next week, Matabidi Hastings boys hockey is our matchup on the Fox 9 Game of the Week, presented by Summit Orthopedics and Truestone Financial. 27-25 between two schools who have quite a bit of history in girls basketball. Minnetonka, they've won a pair of state championships in this sport. As Eggert gets the inbound in, nice play off the inbound. That is how you recover from a jam. Lariah Wright scores. And if my broadcasting colleague, Pat Barrett, were here, he would point out how that timeout used by Brian Cosgriff saved a possession, gave them a scoring play out of it. You never know when that might add up. People usually think of timeouts as a way to stop the clock. Kick ball, Minnetonka will take over. Timeouts can also be a way to save possession. And that is one possession saved, one possession that became a bucket. And if there's anyone who would understand the virtue of timeouts, it's Brian Cosgriff, who again led Hopkins to all those state championships, fielded a few Miss Basketball winners along the way. Leslie Knight, Nia Holly, Paige Beckers. Wright sees an open lane and strolls in for two. Back-to-back buckets for the 7th grader. Yes, 7th grader. It's more common to see them in the smaller classes, but they're creeping up to the big classes now as well. But when you see someone like Lariah, you can understand why. Chose inside, Woke, turnaround, can't get the bounce. 3:10 to go in the first half. Bagulke with the board. Foster to Jonke. Changes direction and gets hacked. Minnetonka still had 3 to give. That last part I was going to mention on S Teammates history, by the way. With South Carolina winning the national championship, they gained the first Miss Basketball winner and the first state champion to become a national champion at the D1 level, as Cale Jonke banks in the 17-footer. Cale has not decided on a college yet. Kent Hamry said, in a perfect world, I hope she gets it done at the end of this year so that it's out of the way, but I'm sure he'll be happy no matter when she makes that selection. Peterson along on the right wing. Tries to go around the lengthy Jonke and gets the bounce. Minnetonka holding a slight lead, 33-27. They led 12-0 to start. High-low. Hazelton cuts back inside. Chose with the rebound after the Hazelton miss. Wright, the handoff. Williams thought about it. Moves inside, pulls up. Can't get it to go. Outlet. Jonke's got it. And she'll have free throws coming up. Cale Jonke, 6'2" junior. A double-double threat for the Knights. Gets the front end to go. Averaging 19.2 a game. She and Hazelton, the playmakers, the catalysts, the straw stirrers. After Jacayla Kraft graduated and is now playing at Seton Hall. Williams, up and in. Tough drive, but she makes it work. St. Michael-Albertville says, right back at ya. It's J.C. Bryan with 9 off the bench now. Bryan giving the Knights a much-needed boost. Foul, and that's on the Knights, which means free throws. It's the second on Foster. Agert, the senior, shooting 1 and 1 with 1:21 left in the first. After this, Minnetonka will have one more home date against Hopkins, February 21st. Hopkins won the first meeting. Of course, it was Minnetonka who won the rubber match last year. They split the season series with Hopkins. And then Brian Cosgriff fended off his former stomping grounds to give Minnetonka their second ever state title in girls basketball. They won their first in 2016. Peterson, long two, swish. Minnetonka saw their lead shrink to 2. They've built it back up. A 3 on the way. Foul. And it's on St. Michael-Albertville. We're going to be going the other way for free throws, unless that was team control. The scores table signaling to the officials, 1-1. The reason I said that, if it's a loose ball foul, then you go to the line as usual. If it's a team control foul, you do not. So ROKKR, back to the line she goes. Split her last time up to 7 points. Minnetonka getting solid production out of their starters. It's another split for ROKKR. 8-point game, under a minute to go. Pass, nearly swatted. Instead, Jonke gets an open 3 and buries it. Jonke jumping up her point total. She's got 18. Does not have a 30-point game this year. That's on the line, but good for 2. Ari Peterson again. She's got a dozen. Shot clock is off. Less than 30 seconds. Jonke to Bigolke. And when you're 6'2", you can scoop up some errant passes simply through your length alone. 3 on the way. Short, battle for the board, will be a jump ball. St. Michael-Albertville holds the arrow, which means they'll get one more chance with 6.5 seconds on the clock. It goes off the foot of Woke, and we'll do this again. Bigolke, the inbounder, finds Jonke. Peterson's on her. Ball knocked away. It will still be STMA ball, as Hazelton needs a moment to collect herself. Now you're at a point where if you catch it, you have a dribble, maybe 2, but can't really mess around now. 2.5 seconds. You've got to get a clean pass in, a clean look, and fire away. Jonke, the turnaround. That's it for the first half. 40-34. Minnetonka jumped out to a 12-0 start. St. Michael-Albertville got within 2, but Minnetonka holding off their late conference rivals so far as they take a 7-point lead into halftime. We'll rejoin you in about 10 minutes. You're watching the Fox 9 Game of the Week presented by True Stone Financial and Summit Orthopedics. Minnetonka leads St. Michael-Albertville 41-34.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At True Stone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a True Stone checking account. It's true, because we're True Stone.
It's not just any day. It's your day off. A chance to reset, to recharge. A day to lace up, stretch out, and dive into what ignites your soul. This day is all about you, living life at your summit.
There are lots of reasons to want a big backyard. At Truestone Home Mortgage, we all agree dog birthday party is at the top. Great home loans, expert help, and a focus on what matters to you. It's true, because we're Truestone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Skippers is an elementary novice team in the Minnetonka cheer program. They competed this season in 3 local competitions. They're coached by Ashley Soka and Autumn Lindelof. Minnetonka cheer organizations of the G trials this summer. If you're interested in
Watching the routines of both cheer squads leaves me with one thought. What was I doing with my life at that young an age? I was slacking off, and look what happened to me. I tease. We'll have the second half of our Fox 9 Game of the Week, presented by Summit Orthopedics and True Stone Financial, in just a couple of minutes. Mike Beaton still with you. It's Minnetonka who leads St. Michael-Albertville 41-34 after checking the first half numbers. Speaking of, they go something like this. Kale Jonke leading St. Michael-Albertville with 18 points. J.C. Bryan, 9 off the bench, just 1 away from her season high. And those are your notables for the Knights. All 5 starters for Minnetonka have scored, and they all have produced significantly. R.A. Peterson leads with 12 points. LaCedra Williams with 9. Delaney Agert with 7. Lariah Wright with 7. Harley Woke with 6. Looking ahead for both teams, we mentioned Minnetonka. Their regular season finale is also their final home game. It will be against Hopkins in what could be a possible preview of a state tournament match. We'll have to see who gets out of the sections and where they get seeded. Right now, just about anything's up for grabs. There also will be road games with Eden Prairie and Edina, but this is their only game this week. They also will take on Horace at the Red River Showcase at Moorhead, the final breakdown event of the 24-25 season. St. Michael-Albertville, they've got a few more dates on the calendar. They end the regular season with a pair of home games, Hopkins and Wayzata. Hopkins was the team they beat 2 years ago to win the state championship. You may recall that one, jumped out to a big lead. Hopkins battled back but ran out of time, giving Tessa Johnson her one and only state title in the sport. They'll also take on Fargo Davies at the Red River Showcase at Moorhead. As we said earlier in the broadcast, St. Michael-Albertville should have no trouble getting out of their section. Section 8, not super strong compared to Minnetonka's placement in Section 2. But there may be a sleeper in Elk River who could catch them unsuspectingly if they're not careful. It all comes down to who can get healthy and who can get on a hot streak. We don't have a runaway favorite. Even in Section 6, Wayzata beat Hopkins in their first meeting, so it's not a guarantee that Hopkins will make it through, as they have for so many years. It is a wide open field, and in some respects, the Lake Conference has given way to the IMAC. Minnehaha Academy beat Minnetonka earlier this year. Providence Academy has a couple of wins against the Lake Conference foes. They beat St. Michael-Albertville on Saturday at the Community Clash, and Hopkins at the Granite City Classic. So the small schools, at least the ones at the top of the pack, making a name for themselves. It's been that kind of season, though. We featured Providence Academy earlier this season in our Game of the Week coverage. And I have a feeling we're going to hear a lot about them in the Class 2A state championship as we get the second half underway. Minnetonka under duress. Peterson gets out of it. Williams to right. Fires a three. Not there. Peterson gets the miss. A little too much oomph on that floater. We'll see if Jonke can continue her high level of production. 18 points in the first half. Doesn't have a 30-point game this year. She might need it. We'll see. Minnetonka intercepts the pass. It's Woke. She will go all the way like the sly fox she is. Harley Woke, averaging 6.9 a game. One of those players who reminds me of a KK Adams at Hopkins and a few others who don't get the headlines that the Stars do. KK graduated the same year as Paige Beckers over at Hopkins, a team that Brian Cosgrove coached. It was his last team. Ari Peterson creating another turnover. Well, Ari is adding a lot more headlines for herself, but her defensive poise and tenacity, I feel, are really standing out in this one. And if she can continue that upswing, her stock will only get higher. It's already pretty darn high. Picked up her first D1 offer last year, and I suspect more will be on the way. Skippers working the perimeter. Now they go inside. Woke to Eggert, not there. Peterson, rebound, put back. Peterson with 14. And Minnetonka up by 12. Matching their largest lead of the game. Jonke's straightaway three is short. That's going to be a foul on Eggert amidst the collision with Bogolki. 16:08 left in the second. Jonke around Peterson will shoot two. Just the first on Ari. And Jonke gets back to work after she put in a lot of it in the first half, averaging 19.2 a game. Had 28 against Providence Academy. Jonke makes the freebies. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
It's not just any day. It's your day off. A chance to reset, to recharge. A day to lace up, stretch out, and dive into what ignites your soul. This day is all about you, living life at your summit.
St. Michael-Albertville taking the timeout as we return to action with just over 16 minutes left. And the clock hasn't started. There we go. STMA won the first meeting, 54-52. Wright traveled, succumbing to the double team. In most other backdrops, conference rivalries wouldn't get as much attention as Jonke blocked by Peterson. Now she streaks down court, puts on the brakes, and finds Woke for two. Peterson got the deflection and then the dive. Ari becoming a one-stop shop for the Skippers. It's worth pointing out she is on the ESPNW watch list for the 2028 class as St. Michael-Albertville coughs it up again. ESPNW doesn't have a rankings list for freshman classes. They don't start until you become a sophomore. But Peterson, along with Chloe Johnson, two Minnesotans on that watch list. Lysedra Williams says, watch this, as she spins her way in for two. Largest lead of the game for Minnetonka. And now it's Williams who comes up with the block on Walbon. Woke turns around, yes. Harley Woke with 13 points. As I was saying, one of those players like a KK Adams who doesn't get all the glory but makes this team go. Agert with the steal. Woke again. This place would have blown up if she had knocked that down. Junkie, turn around, but didn't quite get set. Williams with the rebound. Minnetonka looking to scoot away. Peterson zips it inside to Woke for two more. In the first half, Ari Peterson was getting steals. In the second half, Ari is dropping dimes. Look out, Uncle Scrooge. Ari is building up quite a wealth vault. We're back in a moment.
There are lots of reasons to want a big backyard. At Truestone Home Mortgage, we all agree dog birthday party is at the top. Great home loans, expert help, and a focus on what matters to you. It's true, because we're Truestone. A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a Truestone checking account. It's true, because we're Truestone.
I guess I should point out that Uncle Scrooge would not likely feel threatened by Ari Peterson's sudden increase in wealth with all the dimes she's dropping, and that's because if you are a fan of the DuckTales cartoons, either iteration, he always stressed he earned it square. And I think he would approve of Ari earning her wealth fair and square. Ari with 14 points, but she's doing a little bit of everything. A one-stop shop of offense, defense, and facilitation. 54-36, Minnetonka flying high on our Fox 9 Game of the Week. We'd like to welcome all of you and thank all of you who have tuned in to Fox9.com, the Fox 9 YouTube channel, and Fox Local all season long. We're glad to play a part in the documentation, the chronicling of high school athletics. At St. Michael-Albertville, they are hoping to chronicle a comeback. They'll try to start with a three. Yes! J.C. Bryan now has a new season high. Williams up, too strong, got her own miss, and put it back. Nothing wrong with padding your rebound numbers if you can get those putbacks, right? I tease. Hazelton, the turnaround short. Williams with the rebound. And Minnetonka, remember, they're doing this without two key contributors. Linnell Wright, considered one of the top prospects who have not committed to a college yet. She built up her credentials in a big way, winning an AAU national championship with her Minnesota Stars team in the Adidas 3 SSB circuit. And as we were saying earlier, most conference rivalries usually don't get this much attention, but in the Lake, as Peterson has a one-on-one with Hazelton, goes on the spin cycle. Extra rinse. To finish my point, if you can get a sweep or even a split against a Lake Conference rival, so many Lake Conference teams make it to state. Usually you get 3 reps, 1 from 2, 1 from 6, 1 from 8. These games matter because that could determine state tournament seeding. Peterson with a chance for 3. And much like Crump, Peterson went south for AAU alongside Chloe Johnson and Maya Wilson. All Iowa attack, to be precise. Iowa knows what's up, and Minnetonka knows what's up. 59-39 as they are turning this into their own personal playground. Destined to avoid, at least Minnetonka hoping to avoid A repeat of what happened in the first meeting. Jump ball, STMA with the arrow. Remember, St. Michael-Albertville won 54-52 after trailing by 12 at halftime. And even though you'd like to have Linnell Wright and Jasmine Dang out there, these kinds of games can be instructive. Foul and free throws awaiting Abby Hazelton. As I was saying, these games can be instructive for the players who aren't used to this environment, maybe don't get as much time. And it could build them up later in the season when you need the most. Abby Hazelton, volleyball, basketball crossover, the only returning starter from the team that won it all 2 years ago. Also quite the juggler. Hazelton, the one STMA player to reach 30 this season. A change in recent years when Tessa Johnson and Jakayla Kraft would rack up points ad nauseum, it seemed. Hazelton makes the freebies. STMA 6 of 6, but they have a lot of work to do with 12:08 left. Baseline drive. Doesn't go down for Woke. Junkie. Sidearm to Bryan. Swish. J.C. Bryan having the game of her season, if not her early prep career. 5'8" sophomore. Peterson avoids the pressure. Right for three. Off the heel. Rebound Junkie. 59-43. 11:35 left in the second. Hazelton tried to attack the lane, draws the foul. It's on Peterson, her second. Still not in trouble yet, but something to keep an eye on as Hazelton misses the front end. Her 30-point game came against Rogers, 31 to be precise, but as of late, the faucet has been turned off, so to speak. 6, 9, and 8 in her last 3 games against Hopkins, Wayzata, and Providence Academy. 2 late conference powers and Providence Academy looking to make it 4 in a row in Class 2A. No points for Hazelton at the line. Now the ball pinballs around. Everyone diving for it. Jump ball. Minnetonka with the arrow. Panner to Peterson. Williams trying to move in. Ball gets loose again. Panner having a tough time with the dribble. Now Williams recollects. Panner, yep. Never looked entirely comfortable on that sequence. Wolf will come back in for the Skippers. And St. Michael-Albertville gets another stop. Still plenty of time. But you can't mess around now. Another foul on Minnetonka. And they'll have just one more to give. It's on Peterson, her third. Now you start to get a little worried if you're a Minnetonka fan. Peterson had been playing a terrific game and still is with 17 points, but you don't want her to test the foul limit. Williams, her pass tipped and intercepted by Hazelton. Junkie races down court. Junkie collecting her first field goal of the second half. Peterson on the dribble. Tried to lob it to Williams from what it looked like. Instead, it's another takeaway for Hazelton Ari has to be careful with the 3 fouls. Hazelton does it and barrels right in for 2. Minnetonka now out of fouls to give. The foul's on Panner. St. Michael-Albertville scoring 8 in a row. They can make it 9 in a row here on this free throw for Hazelton, who has found herself in a rut, offensively speaking. Misses the free throw again. Jonke gets it back, but left it a little soft. Hazelton now giving STMA another 20. Bryan on the move. Too strong. Williams with the rebound. Keep an eye on that possession, depending on how this game goes. That was a big chance for STMA, and they did get a couple points out of it, but they could have had more to make this interesting. They still could. Jonke with the steal. Zips it to Hazelton. Abby recollects. 3 on the way. Looks off, and it is. Peterson skies up for the board. Jonke tries to knock it away. Another pile-up. Or as Johnny Carson would say, attention Kmart shoppers, there's a cleanup on aisle 3. Most of you parents would understand that reference. I'm going to have a bunch of youngsters furiously punching up YouTube to figure out what I'm talking about. Well, you'll have a few seconds to do so because Minnetonka takes a timeout. We'll take one as well, back at 30 seconds.
It's not just any day. It's your day off. A chance to reset, to recharge. A day to lace up, stretch out, and dive into what ignites your soul. This day is all about you, living life at your summit.
Once again, our Fox 9 Game of the Week coverage continues with Montevideo and Hastings boys hockey, which you can catch right here on fox9.com, the Fox 9 YouTube channel, or Fox Local. And we'd like to thank our sponsors one more time, Summit Orthopedics and True Stone Financial, for making this coverage possible. We have a couple more dates later this month. Stay tuned to fox9.com to find out where we'll be as we put a bow on the 24-25 winter season. A lot of players around the Metro getting in on the action now. St. Michael-Albertville trying to bounce their way back after trailing by 20. That was deflected. So we'll stay here. And Kaylin Foster will try to find an inbound target once again. Hazelton. Lots of traffic along the baseline. Williams snatches it for the steal. Right. To Woke. And Hazelton called for the foul on Williams. That is the third on Hazelton. While she hasn't had a superb game, that is one of your key starters on a team that has lost a little bit of that punch from a year ago. And remember, they're also down a couple of bench players. 8 to shoot for the Skippers. Right, getting pushed well beyond the key. 3 to shoot. Peterson got to go. Hazelton had her cut off. Now she'll take it up the court. Hazelton lost her balance. Depending on which side you're rooting for, that was either a foul or a travel, but instead it's a St. Michael-Albertville timeout. They'll have 1 remaining, 59-47. We're back in 60.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a Truestone checking account. It's true, because we're Truestone.
It's not just any day. It's your day off. A chance to reset, to recharge. A day to lace up, stretch out, and dive into what ignites your soul. This day is all about you, living life at your summit.
There are lots of reasons to want a big backyard. At Truestone Home Mortgage, we all agree dog birthday party is at the top. Great home loans, expert help, and a focus on what matters to you. It's true, because we're Truestone.
One game does not make a season, but for Minnetonka, if they do get the win, 8:45 left in the second, it might be seen as the game that marked a turning point. Remember, they're down Linnell Wright and Jasmine Dang, two of the key contributors all season long. Remember, Linnell had a flare-up in the loss to Minnehaha. St. Michael-Albertville working that ball around. Bryan short on the runner. Peterson with the rebound. Already no stranger to high-pressure environments. Won a couple of state championships at Providence Academy, including the squeaker against Albany last year. Peterson hands it off to Williams. Lysedra through traffic and in. .15 for Lysedra. Bryan, 3-ball, corner pocket. J.C. Bryan makes it an 11-point game, 17 points. Her previous high was 10 for this season. And what could be a coming out of sorts for Bryan, the breakout game. Carrying call on Peterson. And a pathway remains for St. Michael-Albertville. You'll find them in the northwest border of the Twin Cities area. And it's a town that gained a whole lot of pride after last year's national championship from South Carolina. Kayla Bogolke makes it an 8-point game with another triple. 61-53. And St. Michael-Albertville not out of it yet. Right. On the handle. Foul. So a turnover. And free throws now away. Kaylin Foster with Minnetonka in the penalty. Big trip for Foster, who has not scored. Foster averaging 4 a game. And she comes up blank. Right. The skip to Peterson. Woke bounces it into Williams. Lysedra. Lots of players collapsing on her position. And a foul on Jonke. That's just her first, but not how you want to handle things defensively when you're trying to surround a player inside. 6:45 left. Peterson loses her defender, pulls up, short, foul away from the ball. And a push foul was called, likely in pursuit of the rebound. It's on Hazelton, and that's her 4th. Peterson looking to employ the fake. Hager back out. Williams had her pocket picked. Junkie. St. Michael-Albertville regains control. Junkie puts it back. 6-point game. A quiet second half for Junkie so far, but she's got 24. 6:10 to go. Right. Dribble drive. Offline. Hazelton escapes. Bugolke to Bryan. JC the hot hand. Bugolke's 3 is pure. St. Michael-Albertville trailed 59-39. It's now a 1-possession game. Woke, jump ball. Minnetonka with the arrow. We had a tight one last week between Minnetonka and Hopkins in boys basketball. Are we headed for another photo finish? Williams, too strong. Peterson scoops the board. Has her shot blocked by Junkie. Kale giving Ari a taste of her own medicine. And now STMA will take over on the jump ball. This game, a proverbial yo-yo. Minnetonka began with a 12-0 start. STMA got within 2. That will be a foul on Eggert. Her 3rd, and Foster back to the line, although she blanked her last time there. She's on the board. It's the Lake Conference, baby. That's all I can tell you. Among the top teams, it's a battle every night. A war of attrition. Foster splits at the line. 61-59 as we approach 5 minutes. Right. The lob to Woke. Hesitates. Another jump. Minnetonka with the arrow. A while ago, it looked like Minnetonka would scoot away to victory. They've seen a 20-point lead evaporate. It's now down to 2. Right. Over to Williams, calling out help from Peterson. Still working the middle. 7 to shoot. Williams looking for the post up and got it. Lesedra, another clutch play. That's the 3rd on Foster. Williams makes it a 5-point game. Both teams out of fouls to give now. 4.5 to go. Foster sees a lane. Drew the foul on the floor. I didn't see much contact, but they're going to call a foul on Peterson. That's her 4th, and my buddy Alex Nagel, who's watching this, if he were with me, he might say something along the lines of making Brian Cosgriff or any Minnetonka fan reach for their bottle of Tylenol PM. I didn't see a lot of contact on that play. That's a tough one to take if you're Ari Peterson. Free throws for Foster. She makes them both. Both teams about even at the free throw line. STMA 9 of 14, Minnetonka 10 of 14. Ari Peterson with 4 fouls, Abby Hazelton with 4 fouls. Woke finds Agert on the bounce pass and one. If there's a time to score your first bucket of the second half, that was it. Agert with 10. And Minnetonka keeping STMA at arm's length. 3 on the way. Bullseye! Bagolke with her 4th triple. And STMA refuses to lose. But they still trail by 3. Their work isn't done yet. A photo finish at Minnetonka. A foul. And remember, both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. That's the 4th on Foster. I said these late conference tilts were battles of attrition. I didn't think we would see that statement play out literally. But Wolk misses the front end, so an empty possession for Minnetonka. STMA looking for the tie. Foster too strong. I understand the move, a transition 3, but lots of time. I'm not sure you needed to force a 3 that early. Williams, post up. Jump ball, STMA with the arrow. Junkie got a hand on it. Williams, I thought that was going in, and it was halfway down, but not all the way. 3:03 to go. Both teams looking to end 3-game losing streaks. Both teams trying to pick up a statement win. Remember what I said about late conference victories that can go a long way in state tournament seeding. Junkie harassed en route to the rim. Williams, turnaround, shorts, foul. And it's on Minnetonka. Big free throws here in a 3-point game. It's a split for J.C. Bryan, but a 2-point game with 2:26 and counting. Williams to Peterson. Minnetonka taking their time. They don't have to force anything now. Wright calling out a play. Peterson, nope, that is Peterson waiting for the bounce pass. It goes right back to Agert. Her second try is through. Two-possession game. Foster fouled. STMA was in the double bonus anyway. And that is the 5th on Eggert, so she is out of the game. She'll finish with 12 as Foster is at the line. Chose will go back in. Eggert with 12. Now officials having a chat. They forgot to put the point on the board. That was the discussion. So it's a 3-point game. .136. Peterson. The bounce pass. Williams to Woke. Hands it off to Chose. Blocked by Junkie. And STMA has a chance to tie it again. Whoa, gotta be careful. 1:20 to go. Hazelton to Bogolki. For a lot of these players, they were used to seeing Tessa Johnson and Jakayla Kraft work their way out of tight spots. Now they get an opportunity. Whoa, high carry, but we play on, and that 3 almost goes down. But Minnetonka catches a break. STMA can play for a stop. They don't have to foul. Minnetonka will take a timeout. They had 3 remaining. 69-66. We're back at 30 seconds. Hold on to your butts.
It's not just any day. It's your day off. A chance to reset, to recharge. A day to lace up, stretch out, and dive into what ignites your soul. This day is all about you, living life at your summit.
Once again, we invite you to join us next Tuesday for our Fox 9 Game of the Week, Matamidi and Hastings Boys Hockey. Same bat time, same bat channel. On fox9.com and the Fox 9 YouTube channel, to be precise. It's Minnetonka ball, 54 seconds on the clock. Both teams in the bonus, STMA in the double bonus. Minnetonka with 2 timeouts left, STMA with 1. Minnetonka holding the arrow if we have a tie-up. Delaney Eggert has fouled out of the game with 12 points. Ari Peterson has 4. And on the STMA side, Foster and Hazelton have 4. A bucket here for Minnetonka, and that will do it in all likelihood. A stop. Well, that's not what STMA was looking for, but it's still 1-and-1 range for Minnetonka. It's the second on Bogolki, 42.9. Lariah Wright has not scored in the second half. Two big ones. Jonke can't hit the three. Rebound, Knights. Jonke will try again. Bullseye! Now the Knights have to foul. They have to foul to stop the clock. 15 seconds, they're letting a lot of time tick away. They need to get a stop. They foul right. It's double bonus now, so 2 free throws, and Wright can ice the game if she makes both with 11.5. That last 3 for Jonke gave her 27. But right now, it's about Lariah Wright. I don't know if she was expecting to take the load like this when she suited up for varsity as a 7th grader. But you never can predict, forecast, call out injuries, ailments. They happen. STMA calling their final timeout. We'll keep it here. But really, this is the game. If Lariah Wright makes the second free throw, that's going to do it. STMA has no more timeouts to stop the clock. If not, then hold on tight. St. Michael-Albertville trailed by 20. Got within 2. But like the first half and the second half, the big difference in this game compared to the first meeting, they never got in front. And Hazelton, in all likelihood, will have her 4th straight game under double digits in scoring. For a team like St. Michael-Albertville that doesn't quite have the depth they used to with Tessa and Jakayla, that makes a difference. And for Minnetonka, like we said, one game doesn't make a season, but it can represent a junction in a season. To get a win, shorthanded, it could bode well when they have to go to the Section 2 playoffs as Wright knocks down the freebies. That should do it. Lariah Wright, no field goals, but she came up clutch at the line. Jonke's 3 offline, but it's academic. Minnetonka foul, but it won't matter. The Skippers will get one back on St. Michael-Albertville, and they'll do it without 2 of their big names. And while I'm sure Linnell Wright, Jasmine Deng, and Brian Cosgrove would prefer not to run into this scenario, like we said, this could be a huge momentum booster, a confidence builder. As Chose will get a chance to score a point or 2 here. With Hopkins coming up on the schedule, you never know when a performance like this could lead to brighter times. It's a statement win for Minnetonka, 75-69. They led by 20, saw it shrink to 2. But Minnetonka holding firm this time as they put an end to a 3-game losing streak. They're off the rest of this week, but their next opponent, Eden Prairie, a game that could very well decide the 1 seed in Section 2. So a lot of big games await the Skippers. But you got to start somewhere, and a big win against St. Michael-Albertville, great way to do it. Lysandra Williams leading the Skippers with 18 points. Ari Peterson with 17. She did a lot of other things as well on defense and with passing. Lariah Wright finishes with 11. Harley Woke, 15. Delaney Agert with 12. St. Michael-Albertville led by Kale Jonke, 27 points. J.C. Bryant, a season high, 18 off the bench. STMA had a big edge in bench scoring, but the starters won the day. Kaylee Bagalki with 12 for the Knights. STMA, they've got a few more games ahead of them, including a road tilt with Buffalo, who's also in their section on Friday. With that, we'd like to thank all of you for watching this edition of our Fox 9 Game of the Week. We invite you to join us next week for Matabidi Hastings boys hockey on fox9.com, the Fox 9 YouTube channel, and Fox Local. So, for everyone on the Fox9.com crew, this is Mike Beaton thanking you for watching our Fox 9 Game of the Week presented by Summit Orthopedics and True Stone Financial. We'll see you next time.